Hey, this is Mark, and tonight I've got a iPhone 6 Plus that has been worked on before me. Um, in its current state, it has no backlight and no touch. So it started as no touch, and then during the touch repair, for some reason, backlight went completely out. So it's not half dim backlight, it's like no backlight at all. So that changes things a little bit. Usually with backlight problems during a 6 Plus touch job, most of the time the problem is going to be the backlight driver that's right here. And usually it's because that driver is underfilled. But I can see that this backlight driver is not underfilled. So and then, if this one was the problem, it would be half dim. The fact that it's completely out means it's going to be most likely related to this other backlight driver here, which when that one goes out, instead of half dim, you get full backlights taken out. It's kind of like there's a master and a slave, and it's the master. That one has to be working for the other one to work. So I've already tested at the connector to see if I have a good reading on both anode lines, and I do. So I'm not worried about short on the anode line or filters being blown. I'm not even going to really look at those because it's just not possible for those to really be damaged in this situation. Alright, so this makes sense. I thought that I was going to find that this driver was underfilled, and of course it is. So the problem is basically the same that happens usually with this one. It's usually this one that's underfilled. This one usually isn't. So, alright, maybe I can get this backlight driver off without damaging it. I usually damage them and just replace them now. Let's see. Oh, we got a few people in chat. Hey guys, how's it going? Good morning or evening or afternoon, whatever it is for all of you. You know what? I think I'm going to put this on. Oh, no, I'll skip putting it on the hot plate. Let's just see if I can. I'm going to skip trying to save this thing too. I'm just going to yank it off as soon as I find my good tweezers. What the hell did I do with my tweezers? Well, I can't find them, so I'm going to use. Those guys are a little too thin. Guess we'll use these. Alright, let's get started. Wasted enough time. So the reason why this backlight fails after the touch repair is because the underfill that's underneath the backlight driver expands a bit, and I'm not sure why it doesn't seem to affect the just slightly bigger chips like the flash driver that's really close to this. but it really only seems to affect backlight drivers. The underfill expands a bit and just kind of pops the ball off the chip, like these guys here where they're completely flat. Those didn't melt while I was taking this off, and it just creates oxidized bad joints like this. And the solution is either to carefully take the driver off, reball it and put it back on, or just yank it off like I've done. Oh, that's right, these are those magnetic tweezers. They drive me crazy. I forgot what I was saying. Replace the backlight driver. That's what you gotta do. Alright, any questions in chat? No? Let's see, Q's Tech Services, do you think the hot plate would be a good tool for doing CPU swap? Yeah, I think the hot plate would be absolutely necessary for doing CPU swap. I have not successfully done a CPU swap yet. I've been putting time into it here and there when I have time to devote to research purposes. And it is much, much easier to get the CPU off and get all the underfill cleaned while you're doing it on the hot plate. But I still haven't had a successful reball and install and have it like boot up and everything. Ugh. Come on. I think these are both caps, so I could probably just not put these back, but I always put stuff back. That way if somebody else works on this phone, they won't look at it and be like, what lazy bastard didn't put these caps back? Ooh, 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 no, no, ah. Okay, that's a pain in the ass. So what went wrong there is I was sitting here dicking around with these caps for too long, and I let the board cool down, and the underfill got really solid again. So when I went to pick that chunk off, it was hooked onto this ball here, so I've pulled a pad. Like a total noob, because I'm sitting here talking rather than doing the work. Alright, let's warm that up a little bit. See if I can get the rest off without pulling any more pads. So this is the kind of stuff that working on the hot plate would be great for. So I guess I'll just, well, yeah, see, the reason I don't want to work on the hot plate, I keep thinking I'm going to do it, and then I'm like, no, fuck that. It's because I have to change, I can't work on it with the Barlow lens on, so I have to like unhook the light ring and take the Barlow lens off and hook the light ring back up and adjust all the height and everything. And I am too lazy to do that right now. And because I was too lazy to do that, now I have to place a jumper under a chip. Funny how that works. What's going on in chat? Use tech services. He's in order a hot plate. You've tried the CPU swap a few times, but the stencil is crappy. You know, that's the same kind of problem I've been running into. I'm not happy with any of the stencils that I have. And I've tried it with paste and with balls, and balls takes a little bit longer, but I feel like it usually goes better. But the problem is the balls are just slightly too small. I think it needs 0.25 balls, which won't fit into any of the stencils I can find. So yeah, it's been a pain in the ass. Raul says, is that the pad for I2C? Honestly, I don't know. I'd have to check. It could be, but it's going to be necessary. Like, everything is necessary except, you know, I think there might be more than maybe 2 grounds on here instead of just one. But everything else is necessary on the backlight driver. TTKOH123 says, isn't the coin act as a reverse heatsink, which is a bad idea? No, the way the coin works when you're working with hot air on around underfilled chips. It does make it take a little bit longer to heat what you want, but it pulls heat out so quickly that the things around it that you're not directly blowing on never get hot enough to cause problems. So that's why I like the coin. All right. I got to get focused and get this done and stop dicking around. It's going to be a long stream. Can't get the tweezers positioned just right, so I'll use these guys. I like these super fine tweezers for some applications, like, you know, oh, oh man, yeah, yes, I was just about to solder that on without placing my jumper. I bet you guys are laughing your asses off at me right now. Yes, yeah, I almost did that, but I didn't do it, so it doesn't count. Wow. This wire probably looks tinned on the screen, but it's not. It's like stuff isn't burned off it yet. There we go. Put you right there. I blame it on still being sick. That's why I can't focus tonight. Sure. That's it. Oh, hey, Roy's here. Good morning, Roy. Yeah, it's been a while. I've made a mental note lately that I need to start doing more on my YouTube channel. I've been, for the past couple of months, just doing the classes in New York and then mostly working during the day here at home while the family's up so I can spend more time with them. But that doesn't leave a lot of time for doing YouTube videos because when the kids are up, I gotta be able to just stop in the middle of what I'm doing at any time. So it makes it a little difficult. Although my wife did recently agree to start streaming with me sometimes during the day so that she can help keep up with chat and keep the conversation going, and our kids can hang out a little bit too. I'm gonna try it out. Alright, that little chunk of underfill. I thought that corner might give me a bit of a problem, and I was right. So this is probably good right now, but it's not really square. Not how I like it. There. It's good now. Alright. So now we can see, even though this backlight driver is like right here, there's no signs that, there's no little solder balls popping out on these components, which would tell me things got too hot. Of course, I'm going to check flash driver and, make sure that the warm and cool flashes work, because it's possible that the underfill could expand and cause the same problem as we have with the backlight driver. But I never had to actually go back and fix it. So I guess theoretically it can happen, but I don't think it does happen much. Coin really works well. All right, got to place our Mason jumper. Ah, come on. Come on. Get on there. There we go. And even though the pad is there, always want to place this jumper just because at some point that pad is going to fail. Always place the jumper. So I had a guy reach out to me recently on Facebook, and I get this a lot. Probably not as much as Jessa does, or um, as much as Lewis would if he was still using Facebook. Um, but I get people asking me for advice. So, oh, oh man. First piece of advice is pay attention to how low your hot air tip is and don't rest it on a coil. That could have been much worse. I'm glad that wasn't audio, I see. Alright, back to what I was saying. Yeah, so this guy reached out to me to get, wanted a solution. Oh, these guys got hot. Wanted a solution to no backlight after touch. And just an FYI for anybody out there that might think of looking me up and asking for advice, I normally will answer questions if they're well thought out, and you can show me that you have been thinking and you're out of ideas. But this guy just wanted, what is solution? Please, bro. So I told him to, have you looked at the backlight circuit at all? No. Okay, well, go look at the backlight circuit and tell me what you see and how that could fail due to too much heat in the area. And he got back to me like a week later and was like, backlight I see. But then he couldn't answer me why it failed. So I think somebody just told him the answer. But yeah, please just do your due diligence before you start asking me questions. Okay, everything's probably fine here. Let's find out. No, it's not a 6. And we still have no backlight. Wonderful. Wonderful. That is what I wanted. Yeah, my driver looks good. That ball is definitely going to its trace. Not jacked up at all. Diodes look fine. Any chance I nicked this chip, maybe? I don't know. I guess the only thing I can do right now is pull it back off and make sure there's no balls bridged under there or slight damage to the chip. Q's Tech Service asks, am I in Florida? Yes, I am in Florida, and I have to go to New York on Sunday. Not looking forward to it. Roy says he's been sick for 6 to 7 months. Oh man, that sucks. I've been there before, where as soon as you start getting over one thing, you catch something else, or I don't know. That's kind of what happened to me here. Is I got sick the last class in New York, and while I was gone, everybody down here, the whole family, got something that is totally different, that, you know, different set of symptoms and everything. And they were, so when I got back, they gave me their sickness after I was just getting over mine. So that, then it's been another, like, God, it's been 3 weeks now that I've been sick. Okay. Wonder if that one had a bad connection there because of that chunk that was still there that I'm picking out. Or I wonder if I'm going to have to place a second jumper. Hmm. Alright, well, where did I put that backlight driver? Where did I put it? What the hell? Thought I set it somewhere. Alright. Putting new backlight driver on. So diode mode looks good on those. At least I'm getting a reading on all the lines that I really should be. No open lines, no shorts to ground. The two that were open line are like, that's okay for them to be open line. All right. And this is turning into a much, much longer stream than I had intended. Seems to be the way it always goes. Pick something out and say, oh, that'll be a straightforward touch in an underfilled backlight driver, no problem. And then 2 hours later, I'm still working on it. I probably don't even actually need a jumper here. That ball would probably naturally connect there, but the jumper gives the solder, makes sure that it's going to follow that path. And I guess it probably adds some sort of strength to the joint. Alright, well, I don't know what else could be causing this problem right now, so I'm just going to slap a new one on there. Let's see if that works. And where did I put them? There they are. Uh-oh. Ooh, I remember to put those back up when I use them. Oh, camera went out. That means I've been streaming for more than half an hour. I feel like he's not sitting flat. Let's see. Yeah, that's not good. You were almost there, little guy. Just a little more. There you go. That's what I wanted. Alright. Now we'll just let that cool off. Check the chat. Q's Tech Services, top left-hand corner, one ball down. Not sure what was on the screen when you were saying that. Alright, this should be cooled off enough. Let's see if I can get backlight. What the fuck? Still no backlight. Ugh. This is a pain in the ass. This is a real pain in the ass. I mean, what the hell? There's not going to be a short. Hmm. Ugh. That was like that before, but not a big deal. It got a little hot on that cap, but so what? He's fine, not related to backlight. Well, I do not have an answer right now. And I kind of want to take a break. Yeah, I don't know. This is really weird. I've seen a fully no backlight 6S once before, and it ended up being like it was PMIC was what was causing it. It was fucking up the DWI line, which is like the two center balls on these. But looks like maybe the person before me replaced this driver, so I'll go ahead and pull that off just to see what it looks like underneath. If replacing this one doesn't get me anywhere, I think I'm gonna just call it quits for this device for tonight. I don't know, looks fine to me. Throw a new one on there and see what happens. Q's Tech Service is asking what kind of hot air station am I using now. Still using the old Hako 852, same one that I bought years ago to start with. Still going strong. Recently had to start using it about 20 degrees higher because I guess the heating element is deteriorating a bit. Hopefully that won't be hard to find when I need to replace it. Alright, a little more flux here. Okay. You better fucking work now, dude. Fuck you. Fuck you, you fucking bastard. Alright, so I guess my next thought on this is to start looking into what else is on the I2C bus, specifically for the left side backlight driver, because I know they're on different I2C lines, I squared C, whatever. So I guess I'm going to look at what else is on those lines and see if, you know, maybe something else on a line is causing problems pulling the line down. Yeah, I don't know. I'm done thinking about this one right now, though. Alright. Well, that was anticlimactic. I'll have to pick this up after I've had some time to put a little bit of thought into it. I'm just really not feeling it right now. So, yeah, a beer will calm my nerves. I think that's a good idea. Just catching up with chat before I go here. No, I've never replaced the heating element in this. It's the same one as when I got it, so no telling how old it is. But looks like I've addressed everything I need to in chat right now. So just to quick recap, this was a previous repair attempt of Touch IC, which then caused backlight to go out. The other tech had replaced this backlight driver, but there's no backlight at all, and it's not just half dim, so that means it's going to be related to this backlight circuit. This driver was underfilled, so it seemed like a no-brainer that replacing this was going to fix everything, but it didn't. So this is going to take a little more troubleshooting, and I'll pick this back up sometime in the future. So thanks for watching. Have a good night, guys.